Hey, what's happening there, pro members? Coming at you with a recap of last week. Actually, some stocks to watch for this week. Um, I had a conference last week. I had 19 back-to-back meetings in person here in Las Vegas at the SNN Planet Microcap Conference. A couple of key takeaways for all of you. I asked one question of everyone I met, and that question was, are we going into a recession or not? The overwhelming response was that we are going into a recession. I would say 98% of everyone I spoke with is convinced we're going into a recession. The pessimism in the room was mind-blowing to me because, as you know, I think we're closer to the bottom than we are to the top. But when you hear, and I'm talking a lot of people, when you hear a lot of people that are all leaning the same direction, I've said this before, when you get everybody on one side of the boat, typically what happens is the exact opposite of what everyone thinks is going to happen. Now, there are things, the thing that I was trying to narrow down is once I asked that question as to whether we were going into a recession, my next question was this. Okay, since you are so convinced that we're going into a recession, what is it that you see that leads you to believe? What are we going to get hit with that's going to push us there? And because this is how I view it. We just got through a pandemic, which doesn't happen very often. Matter of fact, I don't think that we've had a pandemic ever that has impacted the markets the way that pandemic did. And then we had historic supply chain issues, which are still lingering, but I would argue that we are working our way through those. And at some point, I think that the supply chain issues abate. We have inflation, the fastest rate hike cycle in history that these companies have had to deal with. As I look at all of that stuff, I say to myself, those are really challenging economic environments. Now, here's the sad thing. When there is a ton of money and things are rocking, the banks are lending money to companies that don't need money. When we slow down like we are now, companies that really need financing, maybe good companies that have a great product, but they are still in the very beginning of validation, improving their product, and getting to that point where there is real growth and momentum. They're still proving their products, so they're not quite cash flow positive. They're not profitable, and unfortunately, when we get into a time like this, they can't get money. What I should say is they can't get good financing. They can get toxic financing. They can get financing that 200% warrant coverage, right? Give it to us at 30 or 40% below where it's currently trading on the market, and then on top of that, you're going to give us 200% of what we just gave loan to you in terms of shares, and the money we just raised, those amount of shares, and then we're going to get 200% coverage in warrants so that we can go ahead and dump those shares that we've got from you. And we're okay though, because we're sitting on 200% warrants that are priced super cheap. And if somehow the company manages to pull itself from this death spiral, we'll be able to participate in that. So I've talked about this before. Wall Street is broken in many ways, and unfortunately for the small cap companies, if there's even a hint that you're going to have to raise capital in the near term, no one's going near your stock because they are frightened by the dilution and the toxic financing that you may have to take. Now, a lot of the companies that we have and that I like and that we follow don't fall under the category of having to raise financing or having to raise capital. They're in decent shape, and even if they are a company that needs to raise capital, there's ways to do it where it's friendly capital. It doesn't have to go through a financial institution. So those are a couple of things that I think you need to understand. Of the 19 companies that I met with, there are quite a few that I am really excited about, and I think that are in great position when the markets do turn. I think it's going to be violent and vicious. I've said that before, because I think things have been beaten down way too much, and I think people underestimate the American desire and that the American spirit, right? Ray Dalio were, basically sitting on the steps of the fall of Rome. We got a rising superpower in China. They're going to, displant the dollar as the world's reserve currency. And I'll tell you what, I have heard some really scary things from people. And look, if these things come to fruition that these people have talked about, then maybe it is the end of the world, right? And there's nothing we can do about it. It's beyond our control. And it's good knowing y'all. And I don't know. I guess we're just waiting for the big shoe to drop. I just don't see that. Personally, I don't believe it. I think everybody underestimates. I think it underestimates the American people. I know that we are divided, and there's a lot of negative things going on. They just had a new climate accord where basically they're going to eliminate hydroelectric, they're going to eliminate gas, they're going to eliminate oil by some crazy-ass date. And there's no way it's going to happen. If that happens, if this climate accord happens, and they literally ban oil, ban gas, ban this, we're going back to the Stone Age, right? There won't be a tree left, because why? We're going to be burning trees to keep warm and for fuel, essentially. Never going to happen. Never going to happen. And if it does happen, oh man, there's going to be a lot of hurting people. Some crazy stuff happening. Politicians have gotten too far off to one side. Crazy ideas, self-entitlement, all these things. I don't know, man. I don't know what's going to hit, when reality is going to sink in or hit for some of these people. But the flip side of that is that we have so many companies that are innovating and making us more efficient and safer. And look at ChatGPT, right? We have some big problems out there. We have some big solutions out there that haven't really been recognized yet. SkyX, let's just take a look at a few things. REAX, I just interviewed him. You guys are going to be getting that pretty soon. I just edited it. I'm going to be sending that out to you. Listen to this guy's story. They're growing their business in a very tough environment, right? What happens when we normalize? I think these guys are going to take off because the stock has gotten just demolished, and it's not reflecting what the company is doing. REAX is a good one. Let's take a look at SKYX. Look at the reverse head and shoulders pattern on this thing. Look at this. That is a beautiful chart, people. That is a beautiful, beautiful chart. We're bumping right up against the neckline, bumping right up against resistance. I think you're going to get some good news on this real soon, right? I think you're going to close that deal where you got the websites, 86 million, and Revenue, go from zero revenue to 86 million in revenue. We got a solution, reduces installation time by 6,000%. 6,000%. Increases safety, saves lives. This is an amazing story and has not been rewarded. REAX has not been rewarded. You know, did you see by chance what LVO did on Friday? Why is that significant? Well, because the if he closed above a specific price, and I think that was like $1.65 or something. Close above that, I think it locked him in for the Russell rebalancing, which happens in June, right? Russell rebalancing, what does that mean? It means all the index funds will be forced to buy Live One, right? So pretty significant day for Live One, pretty positive day for Live One. And what is he bumping up against? That's an area of potential price resistance as well. I wouldn't be surprised if this one pulls back near term off of that. But it looks to me like the trend, the long-term trend, which was down, has been broken to the upside. You got the 50 that just crossed above the 200 day. You got a golden cross, right? A red cat. Red cat's getting hit pretty hard right now. But has the story changed there? Or are there still going to be, one drone for every soldier in their backpack or whatever? Yeah, that's still going to happen. If Red Cat wins that contract, it does not deserve to be where it is today. What else we got? MAPPF. We just did that we talked about that one a couple weeks ago. They just did an interview. They just announced more patents in Canada. They got positive things happening there. None of this is being reflected in any of the stocks, right? So, look, the amount of pessimism I think was disheartening for me because it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. Beam Global. Let's take a look at Beam. All right. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me right now? Right? With the amount of orders that Desmond's got coming in, this is where the stock is at? Really? I personally believe that this is a golden opportunity, right? We're right at, let's see, it's a pretty big area of support right here. Right here is a big one. Can it go lower? Sure. It can go lower. What does that mean? Is it an opportunity? Does anybody see what this company has accomplished? Does anybody know that in order for us to have a logistical, realistic shot at going all electric for vehicles, what does that mean? It means we're going to have about 60 million charging stations in the United States. Right now, I think we've got 150,000, and it took us like 10 or 15 years to get those 150,000. That's a far cry from 60 million. And as far as I know, they're one of the only solutions where they can literally just drop them off in about an hour. And boom, you're ready to go. I think this is ridiculously stupid. Can it go lower? Sure. Do I think that's an opportunity to add? I absolutely do. I don't think that there is... how about this one? Extract 1. XTRAF. XTRAF. Extract 1. Whoa, did anybody see this? Look at this volume. Who just took a position in Extract 1? Or took an investment in Extract 1, I should say. Madison Square Garden. Who's building the Sphere in Las Vegas? A $2.6 billion entertainment facility. That would be Madison Square Garden. Who's likely going to get that security contract? That's likely Extract 1. And that is compelling. That is very compelling. That validates the product. This is a 50 cents, 60 cent stock. Are you kidding me? What has it done? It's taken out that long-term downtrend, right? Now we're at price resistance. I think this is another phenomenal story, turnaround story. AYRO is another one. AYRO. I met with Tom Wittenschlager. The guy has been the turnaround CEO for not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12 companies publicly traded that he has turned around as a turnaround specialist. He considers this to be his last hurrah. You think he's going to go out? I mean, I don't know. Do you think he's going to go out with a loser? I don't think so, man. I don't think that's going to happen. It's an EV vehicle play, not your typical, not a Lucid, not a Rivian, not a Tesla. It's a very unique niche industry. Frost and Sullivan did a report on EVs, and this is their favorite pick. Frost and Sullivan is an independent research company. It's not a paid-for promotion. They like this company a lot. Why? Well, they got $52 million in cash. They got no debt, and the vehicle they make is one chassis that can be either a landscaping truck, a mechanic's truck, a pickup truck, a steak bed, a hot or cold food truck. What are the other things? There are all kinds of things that these trucks are able to do with one chassis. $52 million in cash, no debt. They run the Red Dot Award. Didn't even know what the Red Dot Award was. I guess there are companies that literally try to get this award their entire existence, and they're never able to accomplish that. Tom was able to get the Red Dot Award on his very first go with this Aero vehicles. I think it's a compelling story. Interestingly enough, there could be an opportunity with Beam. I don't know. That's possible. If only somebody could make an introduction. I don't know. What else do we have? We got Aero, we got Extract One, LVO, Red Cat, Pet Vivo is another one. Let's just see what that one's looking like. PETV. We got the Real Brokerage, REAX is another one. Absolutely. Okay, PETV pulled all the way back, testing the 200-day moving average. I think this is another game-changing company that has done some phenomenal partnerships. And let's see, who else do we got? I've got Surge Pays. I've got, let's see, MITQ. I met with MITQ at the cinema conference in Vegas, and what a fascinating story that is. MITQ. Not a pretty chart at all, but they've got 3 new products coming out. Caddy is one. That's in all the stadiums. And then they've got this really cool translator for the movie theaters for hearing impaired. But there are 70 million people that do not speak or write English or read English that do not go to the movies because of the fact that the movies are done in English. And MITQ's got this thing, you pick your language. You can either listen to it on your cell phone, your smartphone, and read the subtitles on your smartphone. Or you can get these glasses, the subtitles are in front of your face, wherever you look, and you hear it in your native language. And it matches, it syncs to the movie. Literally, it's unbelievable, right? And they have this technology. It's patented. It's their technology. They have to do the hearing impaired anyway. So this translator is, imagine that. So maybe the 70 million people that don't go to the movies, maybe 35 million do, that don't speak the English language. That's pretty compelling, right? Um, they got some other cool stuff going on there too. So lots and lots and lots of good things out there that I see. Maybe it's the end of the world. If it is, nothing I can do about that. Just poor timing on my part. But I don't think it is the end of the world. I don't think China is going to take over as the new superpower. I think that people underestimate the American will, power, and our spirit and innovation. We have Elon Musk. I mean, come on, man. We're the only ones talking about fusion as far as I know. I don't think there are any other countries talking about fusion. You get fusion, guess what? The whole renewable thing, that kind of goes out the window, doesn't it? I don't think we're there on fusion. I think it's going to be a little bit. I still think we're going to need oil, gas, all of these things, hydrogen. I think we're going to need it all. Solar, wind, right? But what do I know? We'll see how things play out. All I can tell you is that the amount of pessimism that's out there makes me feel like, because everybody knows we're going into a recession, that we're probably not going into a recession. And if we are, I don't know. I mean, what is it that's going to push us there? Is the Fed going to raise the interest rates another 10 times? My parents bought their first house at 13% interest. We are sitting at 6.5. That is normal historically, right? That's kind of like in the normal range. So if that's kind of normal, I mean, the free money days are over. Thank God, right? We don't want free money, because then that's how you get in trouble. So we need to make some money on the money that we lend. But we need to start lending some money, right? And then with the financial institutions tightening up because all that money they were throwing at companies that don't need money, now that those investments are not worth what they were back then. They're losing, so they're tightening their reins. But like I said, the animal spirits, I don't know what's going to kick us off, but I do believe things are going to get kicked off. It's going to be vicious and violent. That first move is always it's big, and it takes everybody, everybody's like caught off guard. It's big, and then everybody's thinking, it's just a dead cat bounce. I'll get it when it pulls back. But the problem is it doesn't pull back. They just keep stepping higher. Then you're sitting on the sidelines going, shit, I missed it again. I think a lot of these names are so beaten down, and the valuations are not reflecting the accomplishments and the execution that they've had. The technologies that they're going to bring to the market, they have not been compensated for this stuff. And at some point, it's going to matter. I don't know what snaps it, but I have to believe we're closer to the bottom than we are to the top. Are there going to be companies that go away? You bet. There are going to be companies that go away that do really horrendous financing deals. I did think that we would see a surge in mergers and acquisitions, and that would be an indication that we were maybe getting real close to the bottom, to the turn. Haven't seen as many acquisitions and mergers as I had anticipated, so we're going to have to wait and see how this plays out. But I am not as bearish as everyone else is, and maybe you're sitting there bearish too. I don't know. And I can only just tell you what I feel, what I think, and that doesn't, that and $5 will get you a halfway decent cup of coffee. I do believe, though, that we have some really incredible names that have some incredible products that are changing industries, that are making us safer, making us smarter, making us more efficient, and at some point they will get rewarded for that. So I'm sticking by what I've said for a while. I know you probably get sick of hearing it, but I'm not going to change my tune, because I just don't think Beam is a bad company. I don't think SKYX is a bad company. I don't think MAPPF is a bad company. I think these are all really good companies, and I think at some point they will be rewarded. So that is where I'm at. I've got some more interviews that I'm doing this week, and then I have 3 interviews that I've been trying to get edited. Like I said, last week I had the conference in town, so I did the interviews, but I didn't have a whole lot of time to do editing. I'm working on that this weekend, and I'm going to try and get these things out to you as soon as I can. If you guys have questions, ideas, thoughts, concerns, always here. You can call me, you can email me, you can send smoke signals. I'm not really good at reading the smoke signals, but you can try it. But anyway, I'm here, people. I'm not going away, and I'm still looking for those opportunities. I'm looking for more XTRAFs and sobers. Even sober is another one that's been having some nice announcements. So I don't think I still think there's amazing opportunities out there, and I think we're going to come roaring back again at some point, and it will be another bull market. But I can't tell you exactly when. So that's it. If you have any questions, feel free to give me a call. I didn't take a look. I know we're wrapping up earnings season. We got another one right around the corner, right? Look for the banks and to kick it off. So that'll probably be in a week or two. And what else? What else? I think that's it for right now. So any questions, give me a call. Be happy to talk to you. I have one of the members coming into town this week on Wednesday, late Wednesday night. So I don't know if I'm going to be around Thursday and Friday, because I might be hanging out with my buddy. So, all right, that's it. Enjoy your week. Don't panic. Don't make any irrational decisions. Don't get scared. If anything, if you feel as though you've got a job that you are going to continue to have, and you've got some extra dough, look at putting some of that to work. That's what I would recommend. Okay? All right. And I will talk to y'all soon.